Hi friends, welcome back. Naji here. So we are continuing a discussion with text splitters, and in this video we will be discussing on how can you split HTML. Right. So this is a workflow that we already discussed, and we are discussing on the splitting part. So HTML splitter, there are three different type of HTML splitters are available. One is HTML header text splitter, which is basically split based on the headers, and HTML section splitter, which is a little bit more large kind of a splitting. Then the third one is HTML semantic preserving splitter, which will actually preserve the table and the UL structure of the HTML. Okay, so the importance of HTML splitter compared with the recursive splitter or the character text splitter is, in those cases it will not preserve the HTML, the structure of the HTML, but here they are splitting that is based on the based on understanding the HTML structure. Okay, so that is the difference, and that is why we are using the HTML splitter. And for HTML header text splitter, there is some kind of a disadvantages. That is, most of the time it may miss some few datas, and it will be looking only the hierarchical model like H1, H2, H3 like that. Okay, so we'll see how can we implement this using our Visual Studio Code. Okay, so here we have our notebook is open, and ensure that you have installed LangChain text splitter package. Okay, now this is a sample HTML file. Okay, and this is a sample URL. So we'll see the splitting used on the HTML string and also using the HTML URL. Okay, so we can see how can we import the necessary packages. So we can have a LangChain. Here we have text splitters, right, and we can import HTML header text splitter. Okay, now once this is done, I can check okay how to which all headers I have to use to split. Okay, so headers to split on, I can mention here. Here I can mention different header format, like I can say that you have to split based on the H1, and I can give a name as a header 1. Now I can give a H2, this will be header 2, and here we have a H3, this will be header 3. Okay, so this is the one that I am going to use to split the HTML file. So here I can initialize a HTML splitter, which can be HTML text splitter, and here I can give header to split on. I can give header to split on. This is the header that I am going to split. Now we can split it. I can mention split. Here I can mention HTML splitter dot split text. Now I can pass the text here. The name of the string is HTML string. Okay. HTML string, and I can print the HTML split. Okay. So they are asking unable to import LXML pip install LXML. So let me do a pip install LXML here. So this is also needed. So for the time being, I'm not running the requirement.txt file. Instead of that, I'll be running it here. Okay, we'll see. Okay, so that is successfully completed. So let me run it again. Great. So we have our parsing is done. So here just have a look on this. Here we can see header 1 is the main title. Okay, and so this is the metadata information that is passing. So here we can see metadata header 1. Okay, then we have a main title. Okay, then page content is, this is introductory paragraph with some basic content. Just have a look on this. Here we can see header 1, this is the main title, and this is the content. And when we come to H2, we can see that is section introduction, and it have a UL and the paragraph. You can see that when we come here, it says it's actually, see, this metadata is actually keeping the track of it. So header 1, that is the main title, and inside that we have a header 2, and the content is session 1 introduction. The page content is, this page introduce the topic, below is a list, and here we can see the list content, first item, second item, third item, but it is not keeping the structure of the UML, I mean the UL thing, right? Here just they are showing the some kind of a text here, not the exact format, because this is keeping the table format and UL format, everything. The third one we can see, it's a main title, header 2, section introduction, and this is header 3. Okay, so header 3 is a subsection details. So come here, we can see this is the H3. So this is what we have, not this one. We have H1 here, we have H2 here, and we have a H3 here, subtitle, and we can see the details. But there also we can see that it has actually skipped the table format. Here we can see this is here is the table, but it is not showing the tables here, because there is some kind of a limitation for this particular HTML header text splitter. Alright, so ideally let me show one more thing. When we come to the third one, so here this is the H3, and here we can see we have a H2 here, session 2 media content. So just have a look on that. Here we can see the metadata path information. We have a header 1, that is main title, header 2, that is a session 2, and media content. Okay, in this way they are keeping a structure, and those information is added into the metadata. In this way we can easily split the HTML content, and definitely there is some kind of a disadvantage also. So we have to handle those kind of things. Okay, so we can use another packages, or most of the time this may be fine, or we will able to use the session HTML. Okay. Now we can see how can we split using from a URL, which is also very simple. In the same method we can use. So this is our URL, and if you click on this, you will able to see this is the URL that we are going to split. Okay. Now let me copy this and paste it here. Let me add one more thing. We are going to add H4 also. Header 4. Now the same code, HTML splitter, HTML, we have HTML header text splitter, and header to split on. I can give header to split on. Here we can HTML splitter dot split text. Here we can see split text from URL. So we will be going to use this particular URL, and here I can print the HTML split. Here also the splitting is done properly. You can see that different splits can be done. Okay, sometimes we want to split. Okay, after splitting this we want to reduce the header content. Okay, so in that case, if you want to add some kind of a constraint with this, we will able to use recursive character text splitter, which one that we already discussed. So we'll see how can we use the recursive character splitter over the HTML text splitter. For that I can have a LangChain text splitters. We can import recursive character splitter. Here I can have a chunk size. I can give a chunk size as 500, and I can give chunk overlap as 30. and here I can have a recursive splitter, recursive character splitter. I can pass chunk size, and chunk overlap is chunk overlap. It's very simple that we have discussed earlier. Now let me do a split here. Recursive splitter dot. Here I can use a split document. Then I can pass the HTML splitter here. HTML split I can pass. HTML underscore split. Now let me print the split. Okay. So now we can see this is this actually splitting over the HTML splitter. Okay. So let me say it again. So first what we have done, we have actually used the HTML text splitter. Okay, so which will split based on the header structure h1, h2, h3, and based on the it will split properly. But there is no size constraints in the HTML text splitter. Okay, consider like if you want to implement some kind of a text constraint, I mean size constraint, like I need 500 characters should be available in this particular document, right? So in that case, after implementing the HTML header text splitter, we will be applying the recursive character splitter, which will help us to reduce the size. Okay, so in this way we will able to combine different splitters very easily. So that is the advantage of understanding different text splitters or different components. So by understanding the different components, we will able to use this kind of a use cases. Okay. So this is about the recursive text splitter. Then we can see how the HTML section splitter will work. So that is also work in the same way. Okay, the structure is very similar. Okay, so let me give some header. HTML section splitter. Okay, similar way we can use the LangChain text splitters dot import. I can have a HTML session splitter. So the same header can be used here. So let me I'm not copying everything, I'm just copying this splitter only. This is the splitter. Now we can define the HTML splitter. HTML session splitter, I can header to split on, I can pass the header to split on. HTML header, I'm just going little fast because we already discussed this. HTML, sorry, splitter dot, here I can use the split text. Okay, now we can pass the text is equal to HTML string. Now print the HTML header splits. Let's execute this. Okay, so we can see similar way we can see it's a main title, then header 2 can be seen, section here we can see that. But one change that we can see here is it is actually here we can see, let me execute it again, something went wrong. Here HTML section is HTML string and HTML header split and splitting. Okay. Here we can see the page content, this is introductory paragraph, and when we look on the second title, header 2, session 2 introduction, the paragraph, the page section, this introduce the below and below is the list. Here we can see first, second and third, and item with bold text and link. Okay, so here look on this item, second item, third item with the bold text and a link. So we can check that. When we come to here, here it is third item with strong bold text and link. Okay. So it's giving more little bit more accurate things here. And when we come to the page content, it says this section provide additional details. Here is the table, but here also we are not getting the table. Okay, but actually when I tried it out, it was actually giving the table, but somehow this time it is not giving the table. So let me check my code. Text splitters, HTML is on 1 2 3, H1 H2 H3, header splitter, header to split on, and HTML splitter, HTML split dot split text split. Okay, this seems to be fine. Maybe I tried out in a different way, but this is working fine for now. Okay, so similar way, as I discussed, similar way we will able to implement from the URL also. For example, here we can have a split text from URL, and I can give the URL here. If I pass the URL, we will able to implement using the URL. Okay, and upon this HTML document, we will able to use the recursive text splitter to split it with the chunk size and the chunk overlap. Okay, so that is all about in this video, and if you have any questions, please put me in the comment box. I will try to answer that. So thank you very much for watching my video. Please do like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye.